Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uncommon Energy Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to be recapping the Houston Regional Championships this past weekend. We will also talk about the special championships that are taking place in Sevilla, Spain this coming weekend, which is in the same current standard format. We'll do good old Guess That Flavor Text, of course, everyone's favorite segment of the podcast. And then we're going to wrap up this week by taking a look into the future, taking a look at City League Watch to see what's doing well over there with the newest expansion in Japan, Ninja Spinner, being legal for play, and maybe give ourselves a little bit of a preview for the Osaka Champions League, which is happening this weekend over in Japan. It will have that new set legal. So they've had a rotation plus a new set legal. And here we are in the same old formats. And then, of course, we'll have our bonus episode exclusive to our YouTube channel members and Spotify subscribers, as we do every single week. Also, do just want to give a quick thanks to everyone listening. If you are listening over on YouTube, as we did pass 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, nice little milestone to hit. And also a nice little reminder here at the beginning of the episode to check to make sure you are one of those 15,000. My name is Chip Ritchie. I'm joined here, as always, by my friend and co-host, Azul Gigi. What's up, Azul? How we doing, buddy? How has your week been?
It's been okay. I mean, I did get to watch party Houston, so that was fun as always. Always love doing the watch parties. But then on Monday, I haven't streamed the last 2 days because it's nothing like too extreme, but got a gas leak. Thankfully not in the house, but like where the meter's like set a little bit away from the house. So somewhere in that stretch there's like a leak or something. So we had to I've been dealing with that the last couple days. So I haven't streamed the last couple days. And gas got turned off. They're supposed to come tomorrow morning to start repairing it.
Jeez.
It'll take a couple days as well. So I might not stream today, which is the day that the episode is releasing, not today. Today, I already haven't streamed today when we're recording, but I also might not stream today because they're probably gonna have to use like a jackhammer and stuff like the concrete between that stretch to relay everything down. So
Yeah. Wow.
that's unfortunate, but it's like not too extreme. It wasn't actually that bad. Initially, it seemed like it was worse than it was, and it was like something in the house, but thankfully, it seems like it's just like in
How
somewhere in
did you
that
guys
stretch.
discover it?
Uh, Someone came by to was like flush out the water heater or whatever, and just doing like some like normal testing stuff. And then yeah, he just got a reading on the gadget, whatever it is. It looks like a wand. Like he got a reading, and then like the city or whatever came out. They came to do like their inspection and stuff, and they're like, yeah, there's something going on. We have to shut off the gas. This is what seems to be the problem. Get this fixed. Then they'll come back and retest it and turn on the gas and get everything going from there. But yeah, 'cause there might be like a jackhammer and stuff going on tomorrow. So I might just not even stream tomorrow, depending on how loud everything is. Might go see a movie or something. There's like that new movie with I forget his name off the top of my head. Um
Oh, Hail Mary?
yeah, Hail Mary. Might go see, like see Hail Mary or something tomorrow if it's like too loud
Yeah.
to stream. I was actually kind of excited. I was gonna do a stream where I was just like organizing my collection for rotation. So I was kind of excited to do that, but I can put that off to do at a later time when the format feels a little bit dead. So depending on what the construction looks like outside, how loud it is, might just not stream tomorrow. But should be all good for Thursday, which is gonna be like the big stream for me. Gonna do like the my standard 12-hour release set stream. And then also going to be planning to watch party this weekend as well. We got the Champions League, got the Sevilla special event. I don't, I don't know. I think if I have to put one on the back burner, it'll be Sevilla because the Champions League is streaming day one. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, but it is scheduled right now. But day one of Champions League starts at 7 p.m. my time, and day one of Sevilla starts at 2:30 a.m. the next day. So like theoretically, I would stream day one into a 4-hour break into day 2 of Champions League.
Well,
So
you are a human who requires sleep,
yeah. Well,
unfortunately.
if I can get through all of day 1 of Sevilla, that's when I could, like, go sleep for, like, 5 hours and then wake back up and do like, that wouldn't be that bad. I don't know if I'll be able to stay up. Like, I'm definitely gonna watch all of day 1 of Champions League, and then at that point, I'll just kinda see how I feel and if I wanna stay up and do Sevilla or not. So because Champions League will probably go to like 1 or 2 a.m. It'll be about probably the time Sevilla's starting. So if I feel like I can push through, then I'll probably push through and do it. I'll probably be starting my stream before day 1 of Osaka even starts to just, like, play some more rotation stuff, because that's happening on Thursday. Rotation and the new set on TCG Live is happening Thursday, so
Big day.
yeah, that'll be a big one, and then some big streams over the weekend as well. But definitely gonna prioritize Osaka because that's got like the new cards and stuff. We've already seen a lot of what there is to offer from this format. But yeah, that's how my week's been. That's what I got coming up for streams. As long as there's not too many jackhammers going on. So, yep. What about you, Chip? How was Houston?
Yeah, dude, the gas stuff can definitely be a little freaky. We had a exterior gas leak at the house a few months ago where we
Mm.
had to have someone come out and repair it. It was very simple, thankfully. It was like just a fitting had come loose from the brick in the foundation of the house. So it was like just a very simple reapply, but that Brooke especially was extremely freaked out by the potential of a gas leak and stuff. So I know that's not fun to
Yeah.
deal with, but um yeah, I know everyone's excited to hear about. Yeah, I did go to a Pokemon tournament this past week, so I'm happy to report that I had a really good time at the Perfect Order pre-release I went to last Wednesday night after a podcast. I also did go to Houston as well. And I didn't do great at Houston, to be honest. My tournament was I was feeling pretty good to start with. I played Sarah Ledge and I did finish 5-3, but I was eliminated in like round 6. I was 3-3. So was out of day phase 2 contention. I played the next one and one, and then the last round I did win. Um my opponent also didn't show up, but I, did win.
You were awarded the win in that round.
Yeah, there you go. So I did have a pretty cursed tournament run, unfortunately. But here's the Sarah Ledge list. Azul helped me and talked to me about the deck a lot this past week. So it's pretty similar to the one you actually, I think, posted on YouTube. But yeah, no Squawkabilly, which was totally fine. Didn't really miss it at
Never came
all.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, Drillber's very good. It is nice. The recovery card split, I think, felt pretty good overall. The supporter split 3-3, the research 3 Carmine felt pretty good. The double Turo was very good, especially with how Grimmsnarl ended up being really popular. It's really, really good in that
Yeah.
matchup. And also not playing Squawkabilly makes the Turos better in that matchup because instead of having to Turo the Squawkabilly out of play, which is what you have to do in that matchup if you put it down because it is just free 2 prize cards, you get to use it on your Sarah Ledge that got hit for 180. And that in and of itself is usually just game winning, to be honest. So that was pretty nice. But yeah, I won the first round. I lost the second round to a mirror where in game one I just came up 1 energy short of being ahead in the prize trade and taking the first Sarah Ledge KO. 1 energy short there, so that was a little bit of a bummer. Prized the Drillbur in that game. And then in the second game, Carmined into nothing going first and just lost a couple turns later. And then the real kicker was at 1-1, I paired into Meganium Ogerpon, which when my opponent flipped over the ogre pawn and put down the what's it called, the chikorita, dude, I was like fist pumping. I was like, oh, thank goodness, like we're gonna get back on track. This matchup is so good for me. I have played that matchup surprisingly a huge amount of times because I played this deck nonstop on PTCG Live, and a lot of people love this deck, the Meganium Ogre Pawn deck on PTCG
Yeah.
Live. So I played this matchup nonstop. It is such a good matchup for Sarah Ledge. But at the very beginning of the game, I researched or Carmined away Sarah Ledge and Night Stretcher, and I prized the third Sarah Ledge and bottom decked my Super Rod to lose the game, which was such a bummer. I drew out my entire deck, literal bottom card, Super Rod, otherwise, and if I had Super Rod or the third Sarah Ledge, I had Briar Sarah Ledge to take 3 prizes to win the game. And it was only in that position because I prized the third Sarah Ledge anyway. But anyway, I don't know if anyone wants to sit here and listen to all my bad beat stories, but and then in game 2, I opened up Drillburst 6 energy, so that was fun. And then my
That's
run
fun,
died
though.
to the Crustle in round 6, which is an unwinnable matchup.
Yeah. The rough
But
finish. You felt confident though with the Sarah Ledge? Felt good
Yeah, I
about it?
felt good about the deck. I did feel pretty bad once I heard all of the good Zoroark play. I kind of heard Friday night that like a lot of good players are playing Nighttime Mine, like that Nighttime Mine was the thing in the Zoroark deck. So I did almost cut a Nest Ball to go down to 2 Nest Ball, 4 in Artisan just to have a counter stadium, but decided to just kind of roll with the list that I had worked on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I felt good about the list overall. I think it was very consistent. Just unfortunate that it's like you can afford to like dead draw in one of 3 games, right? But you can't lose a game and then dead draw a game, which happens to me twice, unfortunately.
It's like one of those are like one of the most feel bad moments because I doubt the Zoroark players are including Nighttime Mime with the Sarah Ledge matchup in mind. It's just
I know.
like it's one of those things where it's like you talk to someone about one of their tech cards and they're like, "Oh yeah, and it beats Sarah Ledge." You're like, "Bro, you're not playing against a Sarah Ledge. Who cares?" But then as the Sarah Ledge player, you're like, "Bro, why are they playing Nighttime Mine? Like
Yeah.
my deck is like extremely mid. Nobody plays it. Like what's going on here? Like leave me alone."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's always like one of the funny interactions that happens with decks sometimes. You just kinda get collateraled by
Yeah.
the tech cards, so it's unlucky. I
But I
mean
still had a, good time at the tournament, met a lot of really nice people. Also, like, the deck in general, like, kinda know what I'm signing up for, right? It is a pretty straightforward, one-dimensional deck, no comeback potential really at all. If I don't start ahead, it's gonna be very unlikely for me to come back into a game, so
yeah,
knew what I was signing up for. That is A-okay.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, we got some more exciting Pokemon to talk about. I guess we can start. We're gonna start with the recap of Houston, and we'll talk about the upcoming exciting Pokemon. Before we jump into the chip, I need you to share your screen with me. Oh, you
I
got
have
it
done
now.
so.
There you go. On video.
Yep.
But yeah, let's talk Houston. Let's start with the metagame before we get into the results. And grouping on, and I mean, I thought Dragon Ball was gonna be a little bit watching. It does say 17.7 here on Limitless.
It's with variant
On
grouping on.
Yeah, okay. I thought it would be a little bit more popular. I mean, you were talking 20%. I wouldn't have been shocked, honestly.
Yeah.
So like the 15, the 16% there, I thought would felt like almost it was a little bit low, but by far the most popular deck. Dragon Ball, no surprise.
Yeah, not really a surprise. I'm not surprised to see Zoroark is right behind it. I mean, these are the 2 decks that got the most from the new set, right?
Yeah.
Dragapult getting Pokepad, Inzork getting In's Zekrom. But yeah, I definitely thought Dragapult was gonna be up into those 20s. But, when a new set comes around, even if it doesn't feel like it has that big of an impact, people are just looking for a reason to play anything else a lot of times than like whatever the deck is they've been playing a lot of. So if they saw some other I mean, and Sarah Ledge, did pop up, right? Where it won the Puerto Rico special event, and it's up to a 3% meta deck at this event compared to, being one or less at previous events, right? Um, there's these Monkey Dory Frost last decks popping up now. Another deck that got a huge boost. Grimmsnarl, honestly, probably the deck outside of Dragapult and Zork, like definitely the deck that got the most from this set, just again because of Pokepad.
Yeah.
Pokepad very, very good in this deck. And some interesting lists came out of this tournament, which we'll talk about when we get
Yeah.
into that. But
The meta does start to get pretty wide, like past Zoroark, right? I mean, Gholdengo was still
yes.
like at 8%, but like it was up there in like the 14, 15%. Like it was the most popular deck for like pre-ascended heroes, right? So,
Yeah.
or it was like rivaling the most popular deck alongside Pult. It was like Gholdengo or Pult, depending on the tournament throughout the format. But yeah, then the meta gets pretty wide after Zoroark, even Guardy all the way down to what was it, 8%? But with variant grouping on, it's probably up there by like 10%. So it's like right
Yeah. No,
alongside
it's
Zoroark.
8% with variant grouping on, bro.
Wait, oh, what is it with it off?
6.5.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so 8% total with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Golden Go, Guardy, which were like two of the other like mainstays last format. They're still there, but a lot lower, and then a lot lower represented. And then from there, we see stuff like the Grimmsnarl, Absol Box, Raging Bolt. Honestly, and we see Charizard right there at 6. I think Charizard's gonna completely fall off. Like, I don't know how Charizard can compete right now. There's too much Frost Blast. And Zoroark
Yeah.
has there's so many different ways that Zoroark can tackle that matchup now. and we'll talk about some of those different ways when we look at some of the different lists that made top cut. But I guess like talking ahead towards Sevilla, because we can kind of do this two in one as we like cover Houston, put the variant grouping on again. Like, what do you expect to change for these like meta percentages um with Sevilla this next week? I think Paul could be more popular. We are going to Europe, where I
Yeah.
think it has been a
Yeah.
little bit more popular of a deck and stronger finishes, stronger players choose to play it on average. Um, so I could see Guardy being less represented there as well. And then from there, I mean, I think it's going to be what do the better players want to bring? Are we going to see some of them show up with Grimmsnarl? Like we saw some players like Andrew Hedrick not play Dragapult at this tournament to play a Grimmsnarl list that we'll take a look at. There are also, on average, stronger Gholdengo players in Europe as well. So that's going to be like another factor in terms of the results potentially over there. But anything else you think that's going to be a big change?
I mean, not really, because again, it is well, there's two things happening here for Sevilla, right? It is the first tournament for the new region of the new
Yeah,
format, right?
that's true.
Which I think does lead to like these results meaning a little bit less than they maybe would if it was later in a format, right? Week to week.
It's already
Um,
committed to their plays.
Exactly. And then also the fact that it's a special championships, right? It's not a regionals. People do take it a little bit less seriously. There is still, of course, a world's invitation on the line for the player who comes in first, but and there's championship points right throughout, but there's no money on the line.
Yeah,
Um play so there is that aspect as well. I mean, players will there will be less top tier players at this event compared to other European regionals because they won't travel quite as much. Especially, I feel like earlier in the season special championships, you'll see the better European players still traveling to all of them because they want
yeah,
to like get really good strong finishes for championship points, for stipends and travel awards and all that stuff. But that becomes less of an issue later in the season when you've already got like really strong finishes, right? So I don't really
yeah.
know
Good point.
how much to expect from this tournament this weekend. I do think Dragapult will surge a bit more. I think maybe in Sevilla is where we'll see it push towards that 20%. I think it will be Dragapult Dusknoir more popular than 15.5%, which is what it was here in Houston, probably up to 17 at least. Zoroark will still be really popular. And then the only thing I could really see would just be Grimmsnarl leapfrogging Gardevoir, possibly, but
Yeah,
not quite sure that'll happen.
yeah. And honestly, like looking at how this metagame, there's like a couple of things I'll mention in terms of like things that I think I got wrong, or like definitely like things I would draw from these results. Unless you've like figured out the matchups, and maybe it's just playing a lot of battle cages. Like the only deck I would think you just shouldn't play, even if you've been prepping with it, is Charizard. Like I just don't. It's so bad. Like I would be surprised even if Hermione and Oyvind rolled up with Charizard again, if they show up to the event. I don't know if they would go there. Those are like two players, pretty strong players. Definitely don't need the points from a special event. So who knows if they'll even show up. But even like those level of Charizard players, I don't even know if they would bring Charizard. I mean, honestly, if you're thinking about bringing Charizard, usually we say to stick to your guns and play your deck. But if you don't have some kind of tech card where you feel like you actually have a strong matchup against the Frostlass decks and Poltnor and Battle Cage, the only thing that comes to mind for me, I would switch.
I mean,
I would.
you could get some mist energy in there, which would be
Dude,
helpful,
he's
right?
it's so much though. It's so much to overcome right now for Charizard. I don't know. You're right. You're right. There is that, but then you also like Absol box. Is the main way they seem to be going is Cornerstone right now. Another thing you have to worry about is Charizard. Like, and it seems to be so
Charizard
much like
jamming
Charizard
tower.
and Battle Cage and Mist Energy and Psyduck.
Yeah.
If
You
the
gotta play a
Zorks are
lot of
playing
cards.
Darmanitan Badoo, you need Shaman. Like the list just goes on. So that's like the only thing I guess that's the only thing I would say is like if you're thinking about playing Charizard, if you're thinking about it, I would say don't. Unless you have something. If you come up with like some way to combat, and it's not even like hate. No one is trying to hate on Charizard. I don't think anyone cares about Charizard. It's just kind of like naturally the way the format looks like it's progressing is just anti Charizard.
One other thing to talk about here with the metagame as well is, and we talked about it last week, that this was going to be a tournament that Crustle was positioned pretty nicely in and would probably be pretty widely played. Normally, a deck that's been about 1%, it was up to 2.28, so 60 players in day one. I heard people in day one saying 84 was the number. I don't know where they produced that number from.
I saw 3% on the graphic. Put group pairing grouping on.
I
Does
don't
that
know what
change?
other
I don't know how we get more
Crustle.
Crustles.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Maybe it
the
was just
the
maybe there was something with the stream setup where they just like
they pulled
grouped
like
stuff that
Absol
played.
Crustals, Kangaskhan Crustals. Yeah, they probably did and put
I
those
wonder
all
if
in the
that's what
Crustal.
happened.
That probably is what happened because it did say 3% on the day one graphic on the Houston stream, but they're probably pulling all Crustle was, like, taking priority over other cards. Probably is what was happening. I wonder if that ever leads to, like, doubling up. I would hope not. I
Well,
would
I
hope
don't
there's no
think
way
it
that's possible.
well, I don't think it does. So
Shouldn't.
we get stream pairings, right? Where we can look at the pairings and see right below someone's name what deck they're playing, which makes it easier for us to like identify
Mm,
matches to talk about.
yeah. Is that
And
directly
in
tied to
that,
where the graphic percentage is?
yes, yeah,
Okay,
because like
okay.
the names are used the same, right? And so like if a player is playing Mega Absol with
Russell.
Toadscrew or with a Crustle in it,
And Toad Scroll, bro, they're getting
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, all the grass stage ones, you know. If they're playing a Absol deck with Crustle in it, it's still listed on the stream pairings at least as Mega Absol and Mega Kangaskhan,
Mm.
right? Um, so I don't think that's what happened there.
Where's that extra Crustle percentage coming from? And it was up to, like, 5% in day 2. It was, like, the 6th deck on the graphic, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep, yeah, and that is
And there we
accurate
go.
here,
That's better th
4.8%,
yeah, that's better reflected here. Yeah, it
4.8%.
did show up, and there was some on the winning end too, right? Or close. A couple people, two rounds removed or a round removed, so it almost made the top cut.
Yeah,
Um, Not quite. Oh, I guess Charlie was out of it a little bit sooner than that. Um,
yeah, I think Heggy was the one I was rooting for my boy Hegster here. Lost against Frostless Monkey Dory, which he says is an auto loss, and then
that's tough.
lost to Yoshi. I don't know how he lost to Kill. I feel like the Grimmsnarl matchup's probably pretty good for Crustle,
It's
right?
it's pretty similar to the Frostlass Monkey Dory, especially for Caleb's list where he's got the double Badoo. Because like Badoo's the big card in the matchup to stop the ice creams.
I felt like that Bravery Charm was the big card because as Crustle, you can just go after the monkeys, right?
The Frostlass is like the more important card. Like that's what you have to chase is Frostlass. It's
It
like a
sounded
combination of everything.
when I talked to Ethan, it sounded like for him the game plan was go after the monkeys.
I don't know. I would set up 3 Frostlass in that matchup and then punch him with a Badoo.
Interesting.
The Monkey Dory's like uh the Monkey Dory's damage is fueled by Frostlass. So if you take out the Frostlass, the Monkey Dory's doing less damage than your Frostlass would be doing. I guess it depends on the board state, maybe. How many Frostlass versus how many Monkey Dories. Like if you already have 3 Frostlass in play, it's probably better to go after the Monkey Dory because that's actually generating more damage. Well, no, but if you have 2 Crustles in play, then the Frostlass is dealing double the damage. The Frostlass will be dealing 4 damage per turn. Also, TM Diva's a card, like, because like, I don't know how
Mhm.
many Misty played, but you have to find the mists on top of
Right.
finding other energy. The problem with the Crustle list now as well is they don't play Crispin. So you have to attach 3 times before you're attacking. So, like, theoretically, if they go
Yeah, but if
first,
they're spiky
double
energy
summon from
bros, those
Frostlass.
Badoos are going down.
Well, I don't know if we're attacking into the well, hold on, we got the Bravery Charms if we're playing the Frostlass Monkey Dory,
And hold
though.
up,
Well
the League HQ. Well, yeah, Frostless Monkey Dory is the auto
yeah.
loss, but I feel like
Well,
Grimmsnarl should be fine because they don't have the Bravery Charms.
it's definitely closer. Well, you say that.
Well,
Rogerson did have the
in
one.
theory, they don't have Bravery Charms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised I think the matchup can be pretty close. But yeah, let's take a look at the standings. It was one Yoshi Yuki getting the win here, doubling up his Worlds invites for the season so far. He did get top 4 at LAIC, right? Earning a Worlds invite. Now gets the
Yep.
dub here with the Mega Absol deck, which is a deck I did not have like I wouldn't say like I was like I thought the deck was bad. It was just like I'm not confident in the Zoroark matchup. I haven't figured out the Zoroark matchup. So if you're confident in it, then the deck still seems pretty good. I assume Yoshiyuki was pretty confident in the Zoroark matchup. He chose to play the deck. What do you go? 2-1, 2-0-1 against Zoroark.
201 against Zoroark. Yep.
So I mean, he thought the cornerstones were enough. He didn't even play the Tool Scrapper like we had seen in some of the lists from uh Curitiba most recently, right?
Mhm.
Curitiba. They had the Tool Scrappers in there, so didn't even run the Tool Scrapper to get rid of the Mochis. Just played it pretty much. Is this his same 60 that he played at LAIC? Is this even different?
No, it is not the same 60.
One card different?
Yeah, probably. It's very
Same 60 someone
similar.
else played at LAIC.
Yeah, yeah. Towards 60 from Vegas.
What's
It
different here? Oh, there's a
is
second E switch over something.
some item
Mm,
card.
second E switch over a Poke Gear. Second E switch over a counter catcher. Second E switch over counter. No, there's 2 counter catcher in here still.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he just cheating? Does he just have
No,
how many vessel?
2.
Dude, what is it? I'm fully invested. Is it a supporter, right? It's gotta be a supporter.
Nope.
Oh, it's a Yveltal. No, is it not?
It is an evil tall.
Okay, there we go. Which I think makes sense. Yveltal is, like, pretty eh, he's still good
Still pretty
against
good, but you
alt.
still have the one, it's fine.
Yeah, you still got it as an out. That sometimes he feels like it's more than enough. It's just the one Yveltal, so yeah, gets the dub with the Mega Absol, and I was definitely rooting for him once he was in Top Cut. It was pretty cool to see him get the victory here in this one, get the major victory.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with the deck, I mean, you like you said, you were not feeling really good about Mega Absol in this format with Zoroark being around. I guess Cornerstone is still just pretty decent
Yep.
against it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's enough, then it's enough, and that's, like, the one thing I was just like, I just don't feel it doesn't seem like it seems like it might not be enough. I guess, like, the Zork players would have to it maybe is enough, obviously, unless the Zork players want like, if they put a Okidogi in there, you're probably just screwed, right? But I don't think anyone why would anyone do that, right? Is Mega Absol really popular enough? Do enough of them have Cornerstone to warrant that? It's kinda the question. I don't think I saw a single designated tech card for Cornerstone in any Zork list, so
No.
no one went out of their way to tech for it, which I think makes sense. There's no reason anyone should. And Mega Absol still is one of those decks where it's, like, not a broke it doesn't feel like it's, like, the same thing as, like, a Poltnor or a Gardevoir. It's just, like, a good deck, but I will say, like, if the Cornerstones handle Zoroark that well, the metagame did probably shift pretty nicely for Mega Absol. You are favored against Pult, you're favored against the Monkey Dory deck, you're favored against the Grimmsnarl deck, and one of the decks that is, like, hardest that you previously had to get a hard read on being Gholdengo, which is a deck you almost don't have to worry about, and we could go to that next. One Gholdengo in top cut, but where was the next highest placing Gholdengo?
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Go like way far down. Jonathan Tang at 55th. Oh yeah, only two Gholdengo in the top 64 of the tournament.
And obviously, you can still beat them with the cornerstone, but it's like one of those things where it feels like you don't even have to like question, should I play the Toad School? Should I play the cornerstone? Although I think Yoshiyuki has never switched off the cornerstone. I think he's just stuck on cornerstone for forever. But like, yeah, it's not one of those things where you have to like make a guess or like adjust the list. You're just like, if I hit a golden go and they have the counters for it, I guess they got me. But I have to first hit the golden go. They have to get far enough in the tournament, and not many of them even got very far. And then
Yeah.
they have to have the counter for me and still beat me. But yeah, Josh Frank, who's been on the Golden Go for a while, and like this list specifically, ran it again, got a top cut here. The lone Golden Go in top cut.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think after we talked about it last week, it did feel like the way we were talking about it, that Golden Go was shaping up to be honestly kind of a sleeper pick as a play for the tournament. And I think if I had played it, it would have been something similar to this, right? The Lopunny seems very good, right? A good way to find it in the Evo, um, but just a really nice card to kind of have in there. But yeah, he's been playing it like this for a while, as you said. Also, one other thing, before we get too deep into the metagame or the lists discussion, one other thing I did want to talk about was the whole pokepad thing, just
Mm,
Houston, like as going back to like Houston
yeah.
in general. Um because that was a huge discussion. So how big of a deal did it end up being, right? The perfect order pokepads being played. I didn't see any stories of anyone even playing the card, let alone judges being called or anything like that. Someone we had people posting asking, like, did anything happen? People replying saying secondhand accounts, right? But it seems like it was kind of ultimately a non-issue.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what we said, that it probably wasn't going to be a big deal. But like the fact that it could was kind of the silly part, right? I feel like that's kind of like the conclusion we came to at the end of the last episode. I mean, I got like a little heated about it, but I think it's like justified because it's like, why is this even like a thing that could happen, right? Why is like TPCI putting us in a situation where like players um could get penalties for playing a card that is currently standard format legal, right? Like the rules still should probably be changed
Yeah, definitely.
and adjusted. And like even though it probably wasn't going to be an issue, sounds like it wasn't an issue, doesn't mean that the rules shouldn't be better for future sets for future situations. But it's good to hear that it seems like nothing came of it at all. But yeah, I didn't see any big stories on. I think I saw one story about like a league cup where someone called out because it was legal for league cups and stuff as well, or like
Yeah.
this format was being played at league cups and league challenges this weekend as well. So, um, That's though I think I saw one story about a League Cup, someone calling out their opponent at a League Cup or something, but
I
nothing
saw
about
someone say everyone was so worried about Pokepads that nobody thought to check that I was playing a perfect order judge in my deck.
outmaneuvered, completely outplayed, got away with the perfect
That's
order
next level
judge.
right there.
Yeah, super, super next level.
Um,
I was gonna say
yeah,
with
but
that, with the talking about Gholdengo, do you think it's equally still a sleeper play for Sevilla? And I think on average, there's better players. There's more high level players who play Gholdengo over in Europe. Drew Stephenson,
yeah,
um,
Magda.
Magda. So that crew specifically, I think is worth calling out and being like, do you think? I mean, I would be surprised if Drew put it down. I would not be surprised to see Magda and Miloslav put it down,
I
or
think
like
probably
less
the only
surprised.
thing to really be worried about is maybe Frost last Monkey Dory. That does low key seem like kind of a
Yeah,
scary thing. And
yo,
maybe the uptick in Grim, but you can maybe handle that a little bit better,
got the
especially if
basket.
people were to adopt this like American list that doesn't have Devo in it, right? Um, oh yeah, but you could also tech for it, right, with the basket. So
That the
yeah,
basket doesn't help against, the Frost Last
Fro-
Monkey, so you could
no,
play Fennel.
well,
The Fennel the
that
Fennel, I'm just saying.
extra 40 really makes
Well,
the
it's a
difference. Huh?
supporter, it's a supporter, you can play it under Badoo, you can,
True.
maybe one of each, so you can go Secret Box for Fennel Picnic Basket and just, like,
Oh,
board wipe all the damage. I mean, I could honestly see double Picnic Basket. Well, I guess it's weird to do that, though, because, like, I would almost say, like, the deck you need to be more scared of is like, the Grim matchup is already fine. You have your one Picnic Basket. You've
yeah.
historically been fine. I don't think that really changes that much. It's the matchup's gotten closer since everyone's converted to, like, the 3/3 Frostlass, of course, but, it'll be interesting to see if we see some of the I mean, I guess another thing with that, though, like you mentioned, like, will they even show up to the tournament, right? These are, like, high level players who are already gonna get their
Yeah.
Worlds invite. They don't need special championship
What have
points,
you
but
played like League HQ in Gholdengo?
no. For what, Badoo?
Mhm.
They just have too many stadiums. They have 3
Yeah.
Artisan. They just don't care. They'll just they'll always beat you out on that for sure.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Too much of an investment for, like, theoretically no payoff. Don't have enough control. You have to play, like, a
Well,
lot of them.
let's get right back into the results from Houston, and yeah, we'll pick it up with what the most popular deck was, and the deck that did ultimately get second place in the tournament. Miguel Angel Marin Herrera with the Pult, Nor, 4 Pokepads. Also got the Turo in there. Felt like nobody was really playing Turo this weekend. Also, one less Luminous. Look at that. 2-2 split with the basic energies, only 2 Luminous. I didn't quite clock that. I guess it makes sense with no Monkey Dory in the deck,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, no Dory.
interesting stuff to see.
Did play the Turo, which I think is probably a fine call. There's not that much retreat lock going on besides the Mega Absol deck, which is like it's like a deck in the metagame. It's not something you have to fear, it feels like.
Mhm.
So yeah, the Turo, not surprised to not see a ton of people play the Turo because it's really just for that one matchup at this point. The Zoroarks aren't playing the Evital like they used to, stuff like that. So seems reasonable. It can be good in other situations as well, of course. Um, and the finals was pretty interesting, especially if anyone's trying to learn how to play the matchup on the on the Mega Absol side specifically. Definitely go watch the finals if you're looking to get some education on the matchup. It's from both sides as well. There was a double prize penalty in game 1 or 2. I don't remember. But Yoshiyuki had game on his next turn. He just didn't see it. He had a quad Monkey Dory play to draw 4 prize cards in a turn, which would have been pretty sick. But yeah, I just would to shout out the finals in terms of everyone trying to learn that matchup further. I think it's definitely go back because Yoshiyuki played it like super, super well overall. Um, if you're trying to educate yourself further on the matchup, definitely worth going back and watching. But yeah, Pulp gets second. I don't think it's a big surprise, right?
Yeah.
Um, went all the way there. Pokepad was a huge buff to the deck. And yeah, Miguel didn't play the Monkey Dory, but we see it here in this list, the Monkey Dory. Um, but overall, just kind of it's kind of just Pult. No one really changed that much, right? We don't see any
Yeah.
candies. People are still on like double Hildas. I think there's still more to Pult than that. From what I played with the deck with the Pokepads, I mean, people are fitting in like the 3 to 4 Pokepad, of course, but I feel like there's something more there. I feel like there's something to be a little bit more. There's like a more explosive angle to take with the deck. But maybe I don't know. Maybe this is still just kind of the best way to play it. Just put as many Pokepad as you possibly can in, but don't change anything else besides that.
Then there were a couple Frostlass Monkey Dory in cut. Alex Szymanski getting top 4 with the Mega Frostlass. Tinglu Sudowoodo joining the crew as well.
And triple bravery charm
Yep, yeah,
in
I like the
there.
bravery charms.
Yeah, like did play the shaman, which I assume is probably mostly for the Zoroark matchup to stop the Darmanitans.
Yep.
Although the matchup is probably manageable without it. And then yeah, I mean other tech cards that we didn't see in this list specifically, no Psyduck, no Frillish, or like the other two that I've been seeing some lists play. But it feels like a lot of the list is like it feels like the deck is becoming a little bit more standardized for sure.
Yeah.
Sudowoodo seems to be in most of them, and then Joseph did actually have an interesting deck. Did play the Sudowoodo, but also had the LGM in here.
Yeah, the Elgium Nighttime Mine combo. And would it be surprising to hear this is not the only top cut deck where we will see
Yeah,
this combo? Elgium Nighttime
and
Mine really, just trying to make sure they can beat Ledge, of course, really
yeah,
locking that matchup up, right?
I heard you were bringing Sarah Ledge chip, and they were coming for you. The nighttime mine in here feels a little bit more off. I don't like. I'm trying to figure out what is that for. Like, why do you need nighttime mine?
Maybe feeling like you just need a little extra for the Pult matchup, but I feel like the Pult matchup was
Oh,
pretty fine with this
sure.
deck, but, I mean, that
Panic button
combo,
against Paul.
Elgium Nighttime Mine, is pretty good
That's
against
obnoxious.
Pult.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's probably it. Because I was like, we're not genuinely teching this for Sarah Ledge. We already stomped Charizard. Like, what are we? It's got to be like another angle to take against Pult, kind of like a panic button type
Yeah.
situation for sure.
Did Alex have Yeah, he did, okay, Triple Badoo. I was just wanting to check on that.
Yeah, we could talk about the other Elgin deck here, I guess, right?
Sure. Yeah, and it's, of course, as everyone predicted,
Or
in Zork, yeah. Liam Halliburton with a cool little innovation here, kind of like a light control package almost with the deck, having Elgium and the Luminous Energies, Zero 06 Machinations, perhaps leaning into that Watchtower, Nighttime Mind, very much like lots of teched out cards for very specific matchups.
yeah.
Toadscruel as well. No Darmanitan, just leaning on the power of Zoark and Zekrom Reshiram as your firepower, and then disruption when that's not enough.
Definitely a cool take on the build. It was cool. It was definitely cool to see Liam come up with something different than what everyone else was most likely going to be bringing to the table. And it did feel like most of the other lists they had the Darmanitan, obviously no LGM. Toadstool, it seems like it was like basically mostly given up on by most people. But of
Mhm,
course, it is still very powerful against Gholdengo. Can still be your go-to tech card in that matchup. We did see Liam beat Josh as well in the asymmetrical bracket in the top 16 bracket there. So yeah, really cool take on the deck. Wonder. I doubt it'll become the standard moving forward. And I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things as well. Like I don't even know what Liam thinks about it moving forward as well. He might already be on to the next best thing. But
Dude, it's a good thing he packed those Zero 06. Guy hit
oh my
double Alakazam.
dude, imagine being the Alakazam player, bro, and you're like, why do you have Zoroark? Like, it's rotation hasn't even happened yet. Why are you doing this to me? Leave me alone. Like, oh my gosh, that is, dude, that's pretty funny actually.
Both in day 2 as well.
Yep, not bad. I
Yeah,
have
and
to
looks
imagine
like
it was probably a pretty big player as well.
beat
Who
all the
knows?
Polts he played against as well, probably. Oh, except for
I did lose
Miguel.
to Miguel.
Yeah. So Eldrum, uh,
Nighttime Mind doing work.
definitely the combo worked out for him, I would say.
Seems like
Um,
it
then we got Robert Simpson's list here. This is pretty similar to what we had kind of been seeing.
from
Looks like
Curitiba.
the Curitiba, yeah, the William
1-1
Azevedo and Pertusi list. I don't know what the difference would be,
I
but it
don't think
has
they had Reshiram,
the
right?
2-1 splits. No, they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
They played 2 Monkey Dory and 2 Zekrom and a Reshiram?
I think
That's
they did,
just
dude.
that is so much.
Oh, they only had one Monkey Dory.
Okay, yeah, I was like honestly, the more I watch the deck play out as well, the more I'm just like the more I just feel like Reshiram is so mid. I think in something like Liam's build, it makes more sense. Like, if you have the Darmanitan in here, the Reshiram just feels like so
Yeah, yeah,
overkill.
yeah.
I
I
don't know.
think like Zekrom on its own, not enough. one of these two should be alongside
Yeah.
it. And I could see it
Maybe
just
I'm
being Zekrom
maybe
Reshiram.
I'm maybe I'm missing a matchup though where it's like more impactful, but it feels like enough to get there most of the time. Yeah, it has the whole squad in here that has the Badoo as well. And that's like that feels like this feels like more like what most people were playing. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Liam build was played by a few. We saw Lucas Zing playing in day number 1. Here's the build from Eric Johnson, pretty similar, although it
Yeah,
has the
once again.
Tatsugiri, I think, which is a little one of the differences. Was there Tatsugiri in the other build? Could
Mm-mm.
be wrong on that.
No Tatsu.
Tatsu.
And
And
then Lewis
then
Smith.
did it extend down to 13 players? What was top cut? Was it 13?
It was 13.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. We saw Lewis win the win in there. Yeah, Lewis has double Zekrom, double, but no Reshiram. Which yeah,
No
you got to give up
Reshi.
something's got to be given up if we're fitting two Darmanitan and the 2 Zekrom.
And then the only other deck that made cut that we haven't talked about yet is Grimmsnarl. See this build here from Kevin Lynn. It's got Tatsu and it does have Shaman in here. 3 Pokepad, of course, a big buff
Yeah,
for the deck.
I have to imagine the
Pretty
Shaman.
normal overall, though, I think.
Yeah, I have to imagine the Shaman is probably a reaction to Zoroark Darmanitan. I haven't played a ton with Grim. I also have like I did say like last week on the podcast, I didn't think Grim was like that good of a deck, but like kind of looking at the metagame and everything, how it's like things are shaping up moving forward. You are kind of losing a good matchup in Charizard as Grimmsnarl, but you're gaining a good matchup in Zoroark.
Yeah.
So and like Gholdengo, which has been like I don't know if you ask the Grim players, they're probably big fans of it, but I don't know if they have the picnic basket, it's pretty tough. Gholdengo getting like less meta percentage representation is probably not bad for it as well. But I don't know. Moving forward, Mega Absol boxes, that's always been a tough matchup for Grim. Mega Absol box rises up in popularity. Moving, I guess we don't have that many tournaments. We kind of be just looking forward towards Orlando because, like you mentioned, Sevilla, it's different region, and we're
Yep.
only separated by like a week, so there's not that much time for people to pivot and adjust based on the results over
I do want
here.
to call out this list from Hedrick and crew as
Yeah,
a pretty cool change up for the deck, right? No Arvin in the list. Just wanting to they're just trying to draw cards, man. And this is
yeah.
what I'm talking about, man. This is like some good old honest poke. Let's just draw some cards and we'll see what we draw and we'll go with that. Enough of this boring like search my deck stuff. Let's just like see what fate decides.
Honestly, it just kind of felt like Hedrick didn't want to play Paul, but still wanted to play Paul because he got like the double Badoo in there and everything. It's still a spread deck, but it's
Yeah.
not Paul. Yeah, I don't know about this build. I'm not sure. The biggest thing that I think it lacks is it's hard to play TM Devo if you don't play. We still see like the Brave Charm and Air Balloon in there, but they're a little bit more aggressive. Something like the TM Devolution is like a super like you're lining it up for like one specific turn in a game, whether it be early game or late game. So like playing it when you can't specifically search it out aggressively makes it like lowers the value. And I feel like that's like a pretty big hit for Grimmsnarl, especially for the pulp matchup. I've always felt like the TM Devo is like super strong into the pulp matchup. So that's like the one big thing you lose, I think, by playing this build. I guess you could include it still, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting build. I have no clue if it's better than with the Arvins. And obviously the Arvin build plays better, but it's like by far the more represented build. So it's hard to like simply you can't just like quantify it based on the results like
Yeah.
that. So it's definitely interesting. I think definitely worth investigating further, especially if you're a Grim enjoyer and looking to bring it towards Orlando. If you're bringing Grim to Orlando, I would definitely give this build a shot and just kind of see how it feels. I'd imagine. I think maybe one matchup that you would have a better time against would maybe be the Mega Absol matchup.
Hedrick
Um,
lost to a Greninja. Did lose to Robert Simpson, who got top cut with the Inzork. And did also lose to a Yanmega.
I'm sure he was not happy to see that one.
That's pretty brutal. In day 2 as
Yeah.
well, you're like, "Come on, man, I made day 2, There's literally only 3 people playing Yanmega in the tournament. I saw that earlier when we looked at the metagame. And I think that shout outs Reed Casterlin here, I believe is the only day 2 Yanmega player. I have to
Would not be a
imagine.
surprise.
Where
Probably a
was
good
it?
guess.
3 players. I'm pretty sure I saw it earlier. Yeah, there it is. 3 Yanmega. Yep.
Yeah. What would the other list look like? I'm actually just curious. Is there like a consensus from the end Mega mains? No, there's definitely not.
Frostlass, hold up.
Oh,
Okay,
hold
this one
up.
this is
This is
like
the
the
same
same
it's a
deck.
60. Look at
This is the
this.
same 60.
Well, one of the Yanmega mains had to be sacrificed so the other one could succeed. So Chris, I have to assume they're friends, right? Reed and Chris been working on this Yanmega build for a while. Chris was the sacrifice, so Reed could succeed, and then Hedrick ended up having to be a sacrifice along the way as well for the Yanmega placement here. But yeah, I
Asu oh,
on top of the, I mean, Battle Cage is just so good against Frostlass. There's 3 Battle
yeah.
Cages in there as well. That's kind of funny. And also, it's like Hedrick also won round 1 of day 2, so that's when you feel like you're safe.
Yeah, from any
Like
of the random
more
stuff that made it
gimmicky,
through.
yeah, the more gimmicky decks that might be out there. Like, all right, I'm out of the gimmick bracket. Let's move on. And there's like, boom, Yanmega bodied. That's pretty cool. Yanmega getting it done.
Yanmega the run killer.
But I'm in this one.
Other than that,
Um,
looking at the top 32, a lot of really kind of stuff we're used to seeing.
we didn't talk about the one thing we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about the Gardevoirs and cut. That's something we forgot.
Oh, facts. Yep. There was
Or
just one.
Gardevoir, excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah, Henry Chow, no surprise
there he is.
in cut with kind of close to like what he had been playing. There's no luxurious cape. He's got the Team Devo in there. 2 Arvin, 2 Evo. So heavier into the Evo than he has been recently, I think. And only 7 psychics. Maybe another thing to mention there. Um, there's only so much you can do with Gardevoir. And I heard his run was cut short by a pretty interesting lineup against Yoshiyuki,
Yeah, he tweeted about it.
where yeah, he prized Screamtail and Yoshiyuki whiffed Absol, so he turbo energized to a cornerstone, which then led to Cornerstone being Yoshiyuki's main attacker, and then no Screamtail to answer it, because Screamtail is kind of your go-to answer against the Cornerstone. That's why using Cornerstone is so bad against Gardevoir, unless you have to.
Yep. Yeah, he tweeted about the interaction here. Definitely like a perfect storm of scenarios for
Yeah.
Yoshiyuki to come out on top in that game. And it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, all I've got is this cornerstone. I just got to attack with it. And it's like, ooh, my opponent did not
Not
nest
KO it.
ball for
Yeah.
their scream tail or ultra ball for their scream tail. Interesting. I guess I'll just keep using that. Maybe I'll start powering up my next cornerstone.
And start pennying these other liabilities out of play. We'll just see where
Yeah.
this goes. No, yeah, yeah. So, and honestly, he started 11-0. Henry did. I was thinking it was going to be Henry's tournament, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
he was playing well. We saw him on stream once or twice. Um, it seemed to be lining up, but I mean, still got top 4. Lost to the inevitable winner as well. Maybe some unfortunate variants. You never know for sure how things are going to play out, though.
Yeah.
I know he said he was not. I think in his interview, he said he's like not that confident in the Zoroark matchup, despite like what he has in there. Right? He obviously knew Zoroark was going to be a big deck that
Yeah.
there's a good
He
chance he'd
did.
have to overcome.
He did. He beat one in round 2, and then he went loss, tie, ID.
He actually double ID'd there at the
Was
top.
this an ID confirmed with Robert?
Oh, I guess it maybe they were tied pretty fast into the round, so I think so. I remember like
Okay.
keeping up with it as they were playing. I'm pretty sure that was an ID. Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it was. An ID. I mean, he has the Devo, he's
Yeah.
got the Mega
There you
Nancy,
go.
so he's got some tools.
He did
Yeah,
ID.
yeah, locked it up off of those. And that was, yeah. What was the next highest placing Guardy? Actually, I'm kind of curious, and I actually am kind of curious where Guardy stands right now. Like Henry thinks the matchup's unfavored against Zoroark. Zoroark is like a big player in the meta, but it's gonna be one of the most like. I think Zoroark is gonna be one of the most targeted decks, and it kind of felt like even this event maybe it was that as well with the Grimmsnarls, the Frostlass Monkey Dory, stuff like that.
We got a 23rd place from Hunter Mueller. 25th.
Yeah,
So there's a couple in top 32 here.
Richard as well. Pretty similar takes as well. Like 1 or 2 cards different.
Honestly, less Guardian the meta. That just makes more way for stuff like Mega Lucario to get top 32. Hold on.
Mm, yeah. I mean, that's like the one deck that would make you just not want to play the deck because the deck's pretty good overall. Like Mega Lucario is pretty powerful. But when the best deck is an auto loss, that feels pretty bad to play the deck. This is so. Oh no, there's the Turos to reset the Hariyama's. Like, there's no Gust in here. There is no boss, but you have Turo reset on Hariyama if you want to reset
I feel
that for
like
Gust.
Boss is probably still pretty good with this deck, right?
And I've gone back and forth on it in my builds. It's
Just
like,
being I mean, dude, just our turn 2 I mean, I assume this is a go first deck, right?
uh, uh
Would you not wanna go first with this deck?
I forget where I was. Like some builds I've chosen second. Like I had builds where I would choose second, but I had like double town sword, double air balloon, stuff like that. I mean, there's still two air balloon and a switch in here, so like getting turn one Zoroark isn't too far off.
Yeah, but is turn 1 Soul Rock better than just guaran or lock getting turn 2 Mega Lucario?
Yeah, because you're a prize race deck more so than anything.
I guess so, yeah.
Getting knockouts faster is usually pretty good. And yeah, like
This,
you have so
and
much reach with the premium power pros for your Zoroark.
Sevilla and Orlando is like the last chance to play this deck like at a full potential level, right? Because you're gonna lose kind of a lot to rotation, right? With the Turos, the Nest Balls, the Squawkabilly all
There's
losing.
no, yeah. Well, I don't know about. I mean, Squawkabilly's. That's the first time I've seen a Squawkabilly Lucario deck. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't even know. Squawkabilly seems fine. Seems all right.
This Lucario rotates as well. I don't know
That's
how big of
so
a part that
for
is.
Iono as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about this list. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge fan from what I'm seeing here. I'd have to play it though. I haven't played Lucario in a while. I do love the baby Lucario, which is is a card I see some people not playing, and I just don't understand why you would not. This is like how you beat Gholdengo. If you don't have this card, you literally your Gholdengo matchup is like so much worse. Having like another one prize attacker is such a big deal, especially one that can one hit KO a Gholdengo or a Genesect pretty reasonably. Not too difficult.
Yeah, I guess the power level of Lucario doesn't go down that much with the
Yeah,
rotation.
it is.
Turo probably is the biggest card to lose.
Yeah, that is the biggest one for sure. Like a multi-use healing liability removing card.
Reset Hariyama.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a lot of value, a lot of use cases in the deck for sure.
And
Yeah.
then the highest placing Crustle after all that talk
Yeah.
was top 32 here with Charlie Lockyer. Quite a few
Yeah.
people on his 60 though.
Yeah. Actually, there's quite a few people rocking it. Ends up top 32. And it is what we've expected from Crustle, right? The 4/4 Crustle, no Monkey Dories anymore. Just give up on I mean, maybe the meta's gotten more narrow for Crustle, or it's just like you never need. Did you like that makes me think? Did you? I guess like you need a Monkey Dory before we had Jumbo Ice Cream, but since we've gotten
Yeah.
Jumbo Ice Cream, that's where you can go down to this 4/4 Crustle build. Yeah, makes sense. There's a Ulysses appeal in here. 4
Fifth
boss, not
boss.
enough. Yeah, gotta chase those Monkey Dories. I don't know what we're chasing exactly, but gotta chase it. Whatever it is, it's gotta go.
It's Monkey Dory, bro. I told you
What is the
they
Gravity
chase Monkey Dory
Mountain? What is the Gravity Mountain for? How much HP does Dustnor have?
320. Oh, Dusknor? Oh, it is for Dusknor. Yeah, so here's the combo.
Yeah,
Here's the
Dustnor.
lineup. Because one of the guys in our Airbnb played this deck and made day two.
You put a spiky energy on it, they hit you, and
You
then you yeah.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I
Spiky
think
energy on a Crustle. They hit it with Dusknor. Then you Gravity
yeah.
Mountain, return KO them with the scissors.
Is the other stuff just not enough? The Jumbo Ice Cream and the Poke Vital. I just assume you'd beat that matchup now. Like you just beat Paul now, but maybe it's so close with the. You have Enhance Hammer in here as well. Like, do we need a Gravity Mount on top of everything? Yeah, we just. I mean, hey, listen, it is 70% of the metagame or whatever. So sure, I don't hate it actually. Two Enhance Hammer, really got him. I don't. I think like thinking about Sevilla moving forward, like Crustle didn't get a top cut here, but I think it's still in like almost as just maybe not. Maybe the Frostlass decks are too much. Maybe there's enough stuff to replace the Guardy percentage with the Frostlass decks that will still gatekeep Crustle from being like an actual good play. And it's still just kind of like maybe one will sneak in, but it's like I had higher hopes for the deck, but then now looking at like what is at the top end of this tournament, like you still have
Mhm.
a lot of your good matchups, but like the Guardies, the Frostlass decks, maybe it's a little bit too much to overcome.
Just a couple more interesting decks here. Kind of higher up, we've got the Tank Kangaskhan from Ben Kim.
Going back to
Deck we've seen a
the
bit before with the cornerstones packed in
yeah, the
here.
tried and true cornerstone package in there. Which, yeah, if it's good enough for Absol to beat Zoroark, good enough for Kangaskhan. Because that matchup, I actually played a little bit of that. That matchup felt tough for Tank Kangaskhan, the Zoroark matchup. But the cornerstone should solve it.
And then Okie Dogie from Keon Peterson here.
I think Keon was in contention at some point for a little bit for cut into day two. That's what I saw some people mentioning in my yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
won the first
started
two.
901, dude. Holy cow. Or no, sorry, 9-1-1. I missed this at the very lost to Alakazam round 1. Right, Alakazam into Venusaur. There you go. Into Festival lead. What the heck? What? Look at this tournament run.
Is it? I don't know. Is this just a fake tournament? Again, and then did lose to Ben Kim. Could not overcome the ogre
Yeah,
pawns. Unlucky.
it's tough.
Also lost to. Actually, I don't even know. Does it have a good or a bad Zoroark matchup? Like lost to a Zoroark.
Yeah.
Did tie a Zoroark. Does Zekrom just one hit KO your Okie dokie? How much HP does this
It
thing have
goes up
again?
to 230. So yes. Well,
We
you
have
got to get
we have
a
Bravery
Lux
Charm
Cape
though,
on it,
right?
or yeah, Bravery Charm. Sorry, yeah.
So we had 230, so 280. But then yeah, just one Monkey Door. You punch a Zoroark, they go Monkey Door. What's it called? Oh, they could just Reshiram you back as well. Yeah, that might be tough to like chain Okidogis into Zoroarks, to be honest.
Or like
Seems
a
a little obnoxious.
Pecharunt Mochi combo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely get there, right? The one hit KOs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Zoroark matchup actually
290.
seems tough. Your Okidogi's getting one hit KO'd when you can't one hit KO them back.
It's a cool deck though. Very cool deck.
Yep, yep, definitely.
All right, well, let's recap our predictions for the tournament. First one was highest placing Crustle. Man, we really talked about Crustle a lot. I said first place, by the way. I was definitely trolling a little bit with that one. You gave it the top 8 though, which I think is much more reasonable, but the way it played out, none in cut. Charlie Lockyer, the highest finishing one at top 32. I could definitely see this tournament getting re-rolled, and just the fact that there's so many Crustles, right? That
Yeah.
someone gets through with a top cut run, but did not work out this time. Yeah, maybe the Frostlass stuff is just a little much.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that maybe replaces like some of the bad matchups that like we've kind of talked about, where it's like it feels like Gardevoir is going down in popularity. Maybe they're just opening Gholdengo's. Sometimes they have Lopunny, sometimes they don't. It's not even that high of a meta percentage anymore. But yeah, but then the Frostlass decks are kind of replacing that percentage.
10% win
Tough.
rate against Gardevoir.
Who lost?
Should we
Put
call
the
them
guard.
out? Can we
No,
do
don't
that?
look, don't look. Can we do that? Can we call them out, please?
Oh, that would be cool information to see, like, where the games played out, but that's probably I don't even know how you would display that necessarily. Look at this one, though.
Just looking to expose.
97% win rate against Sarah Ledge, dude.
Dude, who lost to Sarah Ledge, bro? That's
Nobody
it. You're
lost. It was
done.
a tie, 20-0-1.
Oh, okay. No, that's still unreasonable. That's that urgency. The lack of urgency in that match had to be insane. Someone
I
opened
was
like
really the
Diablo.
one I played, dude, I was really hoping to find a way to squeak a tie out of that one. It was not gonna happen, though. I was letting in game I played out all of game 1. I had 2 Turo in my deck, so I was trying to, like, let my guys take a hit, Turo him up, and, like, just make the game go a long time. Not slow playing or stalling or anything like that, but
Yeah.
just, like, making him take all his prize cards. He did win, of course. In game 2, I was like, "You know what? He's gonna give me a bunch of mulligans. I'm gonna get double fight and gong. I have 2 Turo. Like, I can definitely donk a Dwebble." And he goes Dwebble pass. But the problem was he took 0 mulligans. So I
Mm,
only had my 6 cards to work with. And I started Charcadet and
bro.
none of that other stuff. So I lost. Tough one. But that's
Unlucky.
okay. I could have been, the difference maker in this 97%, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, brought it down to what, 94% or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but there's a
Two
reason it's
ties.
97%.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking
Crazy.
at Frostlass Monkey Dory, 12% win rate. But Grimmsnarl, 43, it's still not
Yeah.
favorable.
Yeah. Favored against both.
42 into Polt.
Wait,
But looking at
what?
Zoroark, 80%, Gholdengo, 82%, Raging Bolt,
Man,
73.
what am I missing about the Polt matchup? Honestly, is it just the fact that they play so little ways to find Dwebbles? If you get Badooed, you just can't find your next Dwebble. Is that
Possibly.
part of it? Like,
Is there an artisan in these lists? Should there be?
there is, yeah.
So you
I
got
think I saw
you got enough ways to get one.
Ores for Artisan.
Well, at least in Charlie's list. I don't know if the other Crustles
That's true.
had one.
Maybe you only need one Crustle as well. Maybe that's all you need to carry. You just need to set up one Crustle and then
Dude,
Charlie
look,
lose to any Polt.
dude, there's a lot of them in day 2. Holy.
Dude, the crabs are coming.
Did Charlie
It,
lose to what?
what was Charlie's record against Polt? I assume he played against at least one Polt.
Let's see. He went 1 win, 1 win, 1 win, 1
3,
win,
4.
4-0.
There we go. See, that's why when I look at the list, I'm like, this better be beating Polt. Like, I feel like he's got to be beaten. And I mean, Charlie did.
This guy went
He
1
wins.
2-0.
I mean, that makes sense. The
Ian
Polt are the ones at the top getting the dubs, right?
Ian went 0-1-1 against it.
It's not good enough.
Was also gifted the first 2 rounds with 2
Oh,
0 edge.
your brethren, Chip. You're all
No!
falling. Dude, you're always in a Crustle.
This was Michael was one of the guys that, was in our Airbnb.
So Polt,
Did lose to
lost
a
to
Polt, it looks
Poltard.
like. Tied
All right,
this one. But he in the last round,
Poltard might
everyone
have to shoot
else
you though.
in our car to go to the Airbnb had missed, uh phase 2. So we were ready to go. We were
Yeah,
sitting there waiting, and he has to go play his first round. It's like, okay, he's playing Crustle. It'll either be like over quick or he'll win quick or he'll lose quick. It'll be over quick regardless.
yeah.
And it's like we've been there for like 30 minutes. We're like, what is happening? 40 minutes. It's like, oh my goodness. And it's like time gets called in the round. What are they doing? And it's the Crustle
The
mirror.
mirror. Got the dub though.
Yeah. Where
What
they
is even the
actually they went to time in game 2, and on turn 2 of time in game 2 went to a sudden death game
what?
because
How? Was
of
spiky
spiky
energy?
energy.
They both bench each other out, or is it just like the last
Yeah.
couple of prize cards?
And it was so funny when Mike he was telling us about it because he said he and his like they were just like laughing about everything the whole time, just like the fact they're playing each other. He said there was like a judge that was like walking the tables and like started to kind of get invested in the match and was like watching it because they were like having a good time. The other tables are clearing out and they're like laughing and just cackling about everything. And then another couple judges like walk up. There gets to be like a little crowd around them watching this Crustle mirror match. Everyone's so invested. They go into the sudden death situation and they look at the judge and they're like, what happens now? And she's like, I don't know, but like was so excited about it. It's like, let's go figure it out. And they started to set up for the tiebreaker game, which is what it's called. But then the eventual ruling came out, which is the correct ruling, which I had forgotten about this as a thing. But if you go to a tiebreaker game in turns of time, that's like not a thing. You can't go to a tiebreaker game when turns of
Uh,
time has happened. So the game 2 effectively
doesn't count. There's just
doesn't count and the winner of game 1 wins the match, which is what happened.
interesting, interesting. I actually didn't know that.
But dude, I don't dude, we were just dying, man. Holy cow. I don't know.
First time this happened to me. I mean, hey man, if you're a judge, like you live for those moments sometimes, the interesting, exciting rules and
Yeah.
situations.
That's like one of the things that I love about cubing, like unique interactions that would never come up any other place, like seeing how they play out and stuff like that. It's so fun.
Yeah. Dude, that was like what
Um,
we were robbed from a couple times on stream, where like matches like tie or someone got
mm,
a 2 prize penalty. There were so many 2 prize penalties. Well,
yeah.
there was a couple 2 prize penalties, and like they were like interesting board states and matchups, and then either 2 prize penalties or players playing too slow, and then we just didn't get to see the conclusions. There was like quite a few of those matches on stream over the weekend, where it would have been really cool to see the conclusions. Never lucky.
Um, Back to the rest of our predictions. We spent all that time talking about our first prediction, which was the highest place in
We
Crustle.
just love Crustle, man. We just love the Crustle talk. I'm interested to see the Sevilla results now as well. Maybe get some more Crustle action.
Next prediction was how many Zoroark would there be in cut? You said 5, I said 3.
It was
Hey,
4.
we split the
Oh,
difference there. Handshake, buddy. There we go.
yeah.
You and me. There we did it. And then last one was pick a player to make cuts. We did pretty good with this one. You picked
Yep.
Liam, I picked Henry, both in cuts, both with top 8 finishes. Henry did make top 4. And I don't know if you remember this. I literally said in the podcast, because I picked Crustle to win, I was like,
Yeah.
Henry's not going to win, but he's going to get to top 4. It'll be on the opposite side of the bracket from Crustle, and he'll lose in top 4.
Yeah. And that is it wasn't a Crustle win, but
And then tomorrow morning, I woke up and there was a briefcase on my front step with $1 million in it. We'll just wait.
No Crustle getting the dub, but close enough. Close enough for this one. But yeah, we do have. I mean, I think that's it, right? For
Yep.
Houston, it was a good event. Shima's good. I'm trying to think if there was like anything else to mention as far. It seemed like the tournament ran pretty smooth. I guess I guess I'd ask that to you. Like on my end, watching the matches, like it seemed like everything ran smooth. How'd you feel
Yeah,
about?
I did forget about, like, the time between rounds, as a player compared to, like, being backstage. Because when we're backstage, it doesn't feel like that long because we, like,
Yeah,
finish recapping the match, and then we, like, go to the interview, and then we, like, vamp on screen for another couple minutes, and then it's like, "Okay, we take a 5-minute break, boom, right back into the next round. Because the
yeah,
stream match is almost always the last one done anyway as well.
yeah,
Not the case when you're a player, especially if you don't go to time in your round, which Sarah Lich does not often do.
yeah.
Is
You got a
like,
lot of
dude,
time
just
to
waiting
chill.
around for like 45 minutes between games.
You gotta learn how to meditate. That's got to be the between round meditation. Bring like a yoga mat with you. Go outside the venue, put it down, and just like sit there and meditate between rounds.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. We do have well, let's just make some predictions here for Sevilla. I don't know that there's like much else to talk about really with the
Yeah,
format. I'm gonna be
I
interested to
think
see kind of Europe's take on the new format, but ultimately it's probably
eight
just gonna lead
bolts.
to like a bunch of Polts in top cut,
Yeah.
right?
I was gonna say, I definitely think I underestimated Grimmsnarl in this format. Mega Absol, I was just more so like, I just don't. If you can beat Zoroark, I think you're fine. I think we found that out. Like the cornerstone seemed to be good enough for the average Zoroark list. Now will Zoroark's adapt and add the Okidogi, or is there something else they could play to get the edge against those cornerstones? I guess we'll find out moving forward. Still got some tournaments in this format, of course, but those are like the two things. I think both those decks are a little bit higher threat level than I had mentioned previously or last podcast. So going into Sevilla, be looking out for those to see how they do. But yeah, I mean, I think we can start with the deck that has maybe fallen off the hardest in the new format. Gholdengo. I think Gardevoir is kind of up there a little bit as well, but I mean, I have more faith in Gardevoir than I do in Gholdengo overall.
Not in Europe, bro.
Um, yeah, in Europe, it's a little bit more questionable for sure. But yeah, where do you think the highest placing Gholdengo will land over at Sevilla this weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna believe in the players that have been bringing Gholdengo, and I'll give it a top 4 finish. Really strong tournament from Gholdengo.
Yeesh. Nothing possible.
But I
I'm
don't think it's
gonna
gonna I think it's like it'll be like a top 4 and then there will be like one more in top 32 maybe type thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say there won't be any in cut. I'm gonna go with a top 32 because I think the stronger players that have been bringing Golden Goal either won't be at the event or might not bring it. There's a decent chance. I mean, I think if Drew showed up to the tournament, he would bring it, but I have no clue if he would actually show up or is gonna show up. So
I guess that is a big factor here, like
yeah. So I'm gonna go
mm,
the one that would have won its win in will probably lose its win in and end up top 32. Or I'm gonna say a top 32 finish. I guess it could even go as far as top 64. Yeah, I'm gonna say one Golden Go in top 32, and that's it. And then the next highest one, who knows where it's at? But I'm gonna say one. I'm gonna say 32.
yeah, a lot of my stock is definitely in some of those good Golden Goal players showing up. So hopefully at least someone does. I'm gonna stick with it. All
All
right,
right.
next up, the card that I mean, hey, listen, there was 2 of these in Top Cut, which I don't think we would have predicted. 2 Elgin in Top Cut at Houston. How many Elgin do you think we'll see in the top 32, all things considered, in Sevilla? Are we going to see people rolling up, throwing that into their Zoroark list? Are people going to copy paste what Liam did? Is that list that type of list where you copy paste it, or was that like a one event type thing?
Feels like it's not a copy paste type situation. Um, well, I think it's got. I mean, like we mentioned, like it's. I don't even think we really mentioned its utility against Grimmsnarl, but it's like a pretty powerful card against Grimmsnarl. That's one of the main reasons that people have played it previously in decks. Um, and I mean, Grim seems to be pretty relevantly like on the map.
I mean, dude, if the Grim knows you have it, can they not just like punk up 5 energy on the Grimmsnarl?
Yeah, they would put like an extra one, but then you can do weird stuff where you like Gust of Frostlass and move an energy off of Monkey Dory. So it's like if you can just like offset a couple Monkey Dories in a row, then you can like gain the Monkey Dory edge, I guess. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not possible enough with Zoroark. I mean, if you're playing it, you are playing the 2 Dories yourself. Maybe you can still get there against Grim, but maybe you're right. Maybe it does come down more to the Grim player not knowing what's going on as opposed to and now that it's kind of out there, right? That the Elgem exists.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it does seem pretty strong in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck as well. So I don't know. I think we're more likely to see it in that than Zoroark. So in top 32, I'm just gonna say one. I'll say it'll probably be one of those two decks. I don't know what else you'd play it in. I'm gonna say there's gonna be one Elgem in the top 32.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for there to be more than one, if there is any. I think it's more likely to show up in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck for sure.
Yeah, because I don't know how many people are just gonna be copying the Liam build. Definitely
Because it's a
some,
pretty
like
stark
one,
difference from, like,
two.
a normal way to play Zoroark, right?
Yeah, and I feel like most people are already committed to the Darmanitan build, probably. So yeah, I'm saying one. You're gonna go with one as well.
I kinda wanna go with a 0, honestly.
Ooh, I don't know. I kind of like in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck, and I think that deck's still pretty strong right now.
I think that's pretty cool, but I feel like
Or you can say zero.
yeah, I'm gonna go with 0.
All right, all right, zero. There's gonna be like a
Finally.
control deck with like four. Um, dude, honestly, well, I was gonna say this is a tournament for Frostlass Monkey Dory's at its peak. Ooh. All right. Well, the next prediction, I already know who I'm going to predict. The next prediction is pick a player to make top cup. I'm going with Sander because Frostlass Monkey
Hmm.
Dory is at its peak. Sander's been, I don't, it's once again one of those events where it's just like, I don't even know how much Sander is. I don't even know. He hasn't been to that many. I don't know how many tournaments he's been to this year. He's been to a couple. Maybe it's more than I think. We haven't seen like a top cup placing from him in a while. Maybe that's kind of why I'm like not thinking about it. But so I don't know if he's like, I assume he's probably still playing for his Worlds invite and he'll probably get it. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sander. Yeah, hopefully he shows up to the tournament. That's always gonna be the biggest thing is like the special championships. The event probably sold out, but gonna be less of the top level players going to these tournaments. I'm gonna go Sander. Maybe he's got something cool with Frostlass Monkey Dory for Elgin. We'll see. One Christian
I'm
gamer.
gonna pick a player who's been doing pretty good this season, and just looking quickly back at some of the past European special championships, they have gone to them.
Oh, that would be a
Uh,
good way to check. To be honest, go look if they've gone to.
yeah, and this player has gone to the last 2, but most of the tournaments now in Europe are regionals. There's really not that many special
Yeah,
championships anymore,
not as
in
many,
Europe, but
which is
I'm
cool
gonna
to
pick.
see.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, in, like, Prague is a new stop, right? And that's a regionals, isn't it,
Yeah,
right? So, I'm gonna pick Julius.
it's a good shout for sure.
He's been having a really good season. And
I think
who'd
he's
you pick?
gonna Sander.
Sander, yeah.
Think Julius is gonna play Guardy again? That's what he was
He
playing. Oh, he played Charizard
he
most
just played
recently, right?
Charizard, yeah. I
Mm.
think he will probably change decks. I could see him
Oh,
playing
you better
Grimmsnarl,
be.
honestly.
You better be hoping he changes decks. He's
Yeah.
not making no one's making cut with Charizard.
Yeah, I think he'll likely change decks from Charizard.
Julius, if you're listening to this, change decks, please. Cut
For
the
my
garbage
sake.
Charizard for Chip's sake. All right, well, we got our predictions in for Sevilla. That'll be this weekend. Like I said earlier, I will be watch party. There'll also be Osaka this weekend as well. And up next, we got guess that flavor text. Each week, Mirror Chip picks a card, reads the flavor text on the card, and then the other guest or other host, excuse me, has to try and guess which Pokemon and card that flavor text belongs to. I currently lead 43 to 40 or something like that. 43 to 40.
You hate to see it.
If Chip can get it right on the first guess, he'll get 4 points, and he would take the lead. But then for each lifeline, he does use which set the card is from, which stage the card is, and then read an attack name. He'll get one less point if he gets it correct. Chip, are you ready for this week's flavor text?
Give it to me, buddy.
It grinds its teeth with great force to stimulate its brain. It fires the psychic energy created by this process from the protuberance on its head.
Okay. Lot of information there. So it's Pokemon that has teeth. It's got a protuberance on its head.
Pokemon has
What?
teeth. Do most Pokemon not have teeth? Now you're like making me think. I'm just
I mean,
gonna
I don't
look
know.
up
I wouldn't
Pokemon.
think of like teeth being a prominent part of it, I guess I should say, right?
Sure,
Like
sure, sure.
what's something that's got like a psychic thing sticking out of his head? I'm thinking of like Mewtwo Y, which obviously this is not that, but um
That makes me like question when I'm looking at all these Pokemon with their mouths closed. Like, is there teeth
what's
behind?
behind them lips?
Yeah, do they have teeth in that mouth?
Huh. Let me hear the flavor text again.
It grinds its teeth with great force to stimulate its brain. It fires the psychic energy created by this process from the protuberance on its head.
The protuberance on its head. This doesn't really sound like a basic to me, unless it's like a unevolving basic. Something a little bit more powerful. Ooh. Well, I'm thinking like Musharna's got that thing sticking out of his head, but I don't Musharna, if there's a Pokemon that doesn't have teeth, Musharna definitely does not have teeth, right? Like so I'm not really loving that call. Perturbance. Hmm. Psychic power. Protuberance on its head? Does it say on its head or on its head?
There's a
Let's
head
see what
protuberance.
set is the card from Azul.
Scarlet and Violet.
Okay. So let's think about some of the the new Paldean psychic Pokemon. There's like Espathra and Flittle. Doesn't really feel like that fits. Of course, does not have to be a Scarlet and Violet new Pokemon necessarily. Thinking through. What's the psychic gym leader use? She uses a Florges is her ace, which is like Terra's into psychic type. Oh, what is her new Paldea Pokemon? It is just Espathra, I think. Let me get a attack name.
Vivid Charge.
Okay. So it makes me think like of some sort of maybe like a faster Pokemon, something like Vivid Charge is like feels like an attack that would like pull energy out of your hand or deck to like get them into play. So it could be like an evolving basic, I guess. That like charges up something else. It also could be one of those situations where it's like a secondary type psychic Pokemon where it's like not its first type necessarily. I know like Fido and Darkspawn are psychic types in the TCG, but they're fairy types, so that doesn't count. And also doesn't really sound like this Pokemon anyway. Um Man, what other new dude, I'm like just so drawing a blank on like what the new psychic Pokemon are from Paldea, from the Paldea region. Man,
All right, Chip.
let me just get a stage.
It's a basic.
Mm, I just got nothing. Could it be like Finizen's not a psychic type? Is Veluza's a psychic type? And it's gritting its teeth. I feel like it could have a charge attack. Vivid charge. It's charging at you. And maybe the fins are like the protuberance on its head, I guess. I'm pretty sure Finizen is a or not Finizen, Veluza is a psychic water type. I'm pretty sure. And I really can't think of anything else right now. I'm not super confident in it, Azul, but I think I'm just going to have to lock in Veluza.
It's not Veluza, Chip.
Yeah, I
It
didn't think it was.
is the one, the only Bruxish.
Dude, I hate these ugly fish that you keep picking for me, man. Dude, I feel like Bruxish be having this attack too. Yep, literally.
Well, yeah, it does.
Holy cow. But just that there's another one that has it, like I've read it
Mhm.
before
That is
somewhere.
Like, this is that is a very Bruxish attack right there, the Vivid
I knew what the
Charge.
attack did too.
Yeah, accelerates the energy. All right, Chip. I did think this one would be pretty tough when I read it. I was like, all right, I think this one's like a solid, maybe not the hardest one ever, but it's up there for sure. It's got, I mean, but like if you visualize it, it's got the teeth, it's got the protuberance as well, though. So I was like, if he just like for some reason thinks about Bruxish, he'd be like, oh yeah, that's probably it would have been like a front runner. Um, One thing I did want to mention, which is something we talked about, I was gonna mix up when we were talking about what's it called Perfect Order releasing PTCG Live this Thursday. Is that Perfect Order is actually a pretty small set.
Yeah.
Um, I actually saw this on Poke Beach. It's smaller than Phantasmal Flames. And the last time there was a set smaller was 2017's Crimson Invasion,
And it's
which
a lot
also
of reprint
contained
cards
124
too.
cards. Yeah. So I remember us talking about this when Phantasmal Flames dropped and how small Phantasmal Flames was. It was like, is this going to be a trend? And obviously, Ascended Hero is a little bit different because it's like a reprint special set. But like the next main set, Perfect Order, pretty small, right? In comparison, to what we've been having. Uh, and kind of maybe there is a trend there. I don't know. We'll have to see with
Mm.
Chaos Rising, right? Is there a trend of the sets being smaller now? And
I guess
I
it
guess there's
could
not much
be
else
how
to
many
come with
cards
that,
are in
but
Ninja Spinner, right? Like, and how much is going to be in
yeah,
our set outside of what's in Ninja Spinner?
that I mean, yeah, that's gonna be the question, right? I'm not sure. It'll definitely be interesting. Smaller sets. It would also, honestly, if the sets are smaller, that would probably theoretically make it easier for them to release them at the same time as Japan, which is
Global
what they're doing with
release.
the 30th. They're doing it with one set. They're doing it with the 30th anniversary set. Like I said last week or the week before, I don't think that's gonna be a thing like past that, but I mean, I want it to be. I'm just not hopeful. Just not hopeful. Um,
Let's take a
yeah,
look
we
at
do have
some city leagues, Azul.
go ahead. Yeah, let's do it. We do have Osaka coming up this weekend. So let's see. And they do have the cards. They've had the cards over there for a couple weeks now. The it's Ninja Spinner for them, Rising Chaos for us, or Chaos Rising.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's take a look what the impact has been like. A couple big cards. Beedrill and Mega Greninja are probably the top two Pokemon in the set, right? And then top trainer card is going to be the special red card.
Yeah, just scrolling through, the first thing I'm noticing from these like winning decks, it's a lot of grass Pokemon and really a lot of Teal Mask Ogerpon included here. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean
Arboliva.
Kangaskhan decks, Terra Box decks, Arboliva, Meganium stuff. This I have to imagine is some sort of like big basics. Yep, attacking deck. We got the Ho-Oh in here.
Yeah. What's that
L-
for? Ogrepon? Actually, what is that for? Is that a
Dragapult.
one prizer?
Oh, it only does 200. Why did I think it did more
What
than
do you think?
that?
One hit KO to Dragon Ball?
Kinda.
Maybe it's just is it for the price rate against other Ogrepon decks? Like you just like KO their Ogrepon, unfair stamp them?
Is there better
We do
stuff
see
for
the
that?
special red
Dude,
card
you
there,
should
but
just
still
play
playing the unfair
you should
stamp.
play Moltres if that's what you want. It does the same thing for 1 energy.
Oh
KOs
yeah, I
an
wonder what that is
Ogerpon.
for then. It does 200 total, right?
Mhm.
KO's Arboliva?
It does KO Arboliva. And
Maybe
it
that's what
KOs
it's
Beedrill.
but they have to have a Terra in play. Or you have to have a
No,
Terra. You
you
have
have
to
to have
have
a Terra
oh,
in
okay.
play.
It's
Yeah.
gotta be a Beedrill tech then. And yeah, there's
Yeah.
the B.
And this is a deck that we've seen a decent amount of stuff from. I saw there I think everyone at this point has probably seen that one clip on Twitter from some it was like a
Yeah.
was it a it might have been a City League live stream, I think, where a guy
It was
just
something, yeah.
it was basically summoning Exodia, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, Weedle, Kakuna, Beedrill, 330 damage out of nowhere.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it'll be pretty good. Honestly, this is gonna it kinda seems like this is the next Raging Bolt, like, or whatever that class of deck, right? Like, set up your dude, swing really
Arboliva's your
hard,
baby
repeat.
bolt.
Yeah, there you go. We got the I mean, I didn't even, like, go that far, but yeah, Arbolive was your baby vault, and then you got the Beedrill as your big one-hit potential, and the Dunsparce in there as the draw engine. Um, on Dude, it's like, Unfair Stamp is the ace spec. That's just, like, so like we don't have like Max Rod is a really cool card with grass decks, and it's like, nope, not worth including. It's better just to play unfair stamp still. Like that's so lame. It's just like so lame.
It's just that. Oh, okay,
Also,
never mind.
I was gonna say also a card that I thought we would see in here would be the redeemable ticket in these Beedrill decks, but I don't think any of the lists are playing it. I just assumed it would be an inclusion because like it feels like that fourth Beedrill and fourth Weedle are so important to like gain access to aggressively. But maybe you draw prize cards fast enough where it just doesn't matter.
And maybe it's not that big of a deal because you do have the Arboliva to stand on early game,
Yeah,
right? To take some of those prizes. And also, like, if you just have a 3/3/3 line, that's still 330
30.
damage, right?
Yeah,
Still
still
KO on
pretty good.
everything.
Definitely. Yeah, it does look like Beedrill is kind of making itself known already in the format for sure. But as we scroll through all these, like there's a little bit of a lack of Mega Greninja, it feels like.
Yeah, I think there is one Mega Greninja that won a City League right up here, and it is Mega Greninja Dragapult.
Yeah.
So
I feel
it's
like
really
it's a yeah. It's like
go
Gholdengo
ahead.
Dragapult,
Yeah.
but when that was a deck. Like you have the ability to attack with Dragapult, but it's definitely not the focus. Like the Dracloak is just like extra draw engine.
Yeah, that's really what it is here, right? Is the Dracloak engine to help support getting to Mega Greninja, and you do have the Neo Upper Energy, right? Which obviously I think works really well with Mega Greninja, and does
Yep.
give you the ability to attack with the Dragapult. We got a couple Surfers, of course. Got to move around between the
Of course, yeah, of
Greninjas,
course.
right? It's probably a good thing they didn't
Yeah.
give Mega Greninja free retreat. It would probably I wonder if that alone would be enough to make it like too good. Free retreat on this thing.
Yeah, that might have put it over the top for sure. Just that one little thing could be a huge difference maker. But I do like the ability for like I don't even know if you want to call it counterplay, but it's like because your opponent has to work for that, you can like make it more awkward for them to like play the game because like they have to get there, right? And if they don't get there, you can play around. You can make a play that makes it more awkward if they don't have it. Now it's another piece they have to get like right now, stuff like that. So I always like it when there's like a little bit more play to the cards besides just like, oh, I have free retreat, oh, I attack for free,
Mhm.
so on and so forth. So
Does
but
look
it
like
does
the
look like
way
there's a decent amount of placements with the card.
and it does look like most of them are
Yeah.
I have to imagine kinda similar, right? Dracloak with the one Dragapult. A couple Mega Starmies. This one's
Yeah.
mostly featuring Mega Starmie as its secondary, it looks like.
Honestly, I kinda
50
like the
to
idea of the
bench.
Dunsparce with the deck. The Dunsparce builds are kind of intriguing. The draw engine behind the Greninja.
The Rose's Encouragement as a one of is kinda cool too.
Yeah, a little bit more energy excel. This one's rocking the what Grand Tree as the A spec.
Yep.
Got that in there. Yeah, I think there will be I'm excited to see this card get actually played in the tournament because I think there is like a lot of potential for the card in terms of things you can do with it. So I think everything we're seeing from these city leagues right now isn't the end of the card. I
Yeah.
think there's more that we'll see from it in the future for sure. Although playing with Dusknoir is pretty lame, I'm not gonna lie. Dusknoir's kind of a lame card.
And one other thing to just kind of remind people about, like when we're looking at these results, like what city leagues are, it's very similar to like a league cup, but you're only able to play in one
Yeah,
city league per quarter as a player. So you really only you get four
yeah.
chances throughout the year to play in a city league. And I think I've been watching
It might be
Rahul's
per
been over
quarter or
in
it might
Japan.
be is it per set? Or is that like was like per
Yeah, per release,
might be
maybe
per set
something like
release.
that.
Yeah.
But Rahul has been talking he's been over in Japan and he's vlogged a lot of like kind of like the Japanese card life experience, which has been cool. I watched a couple of the videos of him over there, and he in one of the videos was talking about how if you win, I think this is what he said, that if you win 3 city leagues, you get your world's invite.
Oh, really? That's it? Just straight up?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. I
which
have to
I
imagine it is pretty hard to do. 'Cause you're playing like what 4 to 5 of them a year or whatever.
exactly.
That's the one. That's the one cut.
But yeah, let's look at some more of the lists. Again, lots of different grass stuff. Still lots of Dragapult, which I
There's
do
so
expect
much.
we will still see be, like, pretty strong, at the event in, Osaka, the Champions League.
Yeah, I imagine so. The deck even just gets better with super. I feel like it's or special red card on super red card. I mean, it's one of the decks that'll take advantage of the card the best or the most, just because you can avoid taking knockouts. It's a little bit harder for other decks to do that. So you'll be able to utilize it against your opponent. Your opponent can't utilize it against you while you're still kind of winning the same amount of turns. Definitely a
Pretty
big strength for
interesting.
Pult, I feel like moving forward. And I was gonna say I would have predicted that we'd maybe see the unfair stamp get cut from the Dragapult list, but it feels like most of the ones we've still seen are still like unfair stamps. Which once again is
Something
just kind of lame. Like the unfair stamp
yeah.
is like still the go to.
Something that does
Pretty
feel,
powerful.
a little funny to see is the fact that I mean, because like, Dragapult, I think, is still, like, the tier S deck of the format, it looks like in Japan right now, where it's,
Yeah.
like, the highest percentage of these top cuts are made up of Dragapults. But after that, it is a lot of grass stuff. So that makes it really hard to play something like in Zoroark, which is a deck that doesn't really lose that much to rotation. Really strong cards available to it, but it's weak to grass, and weakness is like one of the biggest pieces in the Pokemon TCG. So I mean, it's still having some success, but it feels like it is going to probably have a hard time thriving, in the new format.
Yeah, I might struggle a little bit for sure. Honestly, I think there might be like some opportunity for decks like the two price decks like Zork to like run like a 1/1 Dusclops to like activate their red card like a turn sooner. I guess it depends on how the prize trade kind of breaks down. That could be something cool. Something cool we could see decks evolve into a little bit. Would be playing like a 1/1 Dusclops just to like put your opponent on the red card after they KO like their first Orc or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, it'll be interesting to see how decks adapt and evolve around the special red card. I think Noctowl decks actually, speaking of like decks that can like take advantage of special red card very well, like Noctowl decks seem like a deck that would. I mean, like because you can like find it with your Noctowl as soon as
Yep.
your opponent goes down to 3 or less. But somehow like putting like forcing your opponent on 3 just seems so strong. Like if your opponent goes knock out a two prizer, it's like, well, you're not in range, and then next turn you're gonna knock out another two prizer, and then all you need to do is KO my Pheasantipity, and then I lose the game. So it's like being able to force your opponent onto the 3 prizes just seems really, really strong. Whether that be you attacking with a single prize Pokemon that they kind of have to respect, then they go 1/2, but obviously they don't want to do that. And it shouldn't be too hard for decks to avoid that. So having like a 1/1 Dusclops in decks seems like a in decks like this, even like this Terror box here. Because I think that people are going to avoid going the 1/2. Nobody wants to go 1/2 if they're going to get special red carded right after that, right? So like no one wants to KO your Fan Rotom and then KO your Flareon. They just want to go chase your Flareon, KO that, take another two prize knockout, and then yeah, they need so little on that next turn to win the game that it's gonna be hard to stop them even with the special red card. They got me out, they got Pheasantipity of their own, so it'll be interesting how things evolve. But yeah, I think Terra decks in general, Noctowl decks
Yeah.
have a lot of room to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I mean, a deck we're also seeing a little bit less of is Alakazam, card that a deck that does not really like special red card. But still
Yeah.
some people playing it. This one's actually got the Togekiss line in here.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Cheese
also
some
have the
extra
Eerie. I actually saw
prizes.
another list that had 2 Eerie in it.
They're
So
trying to
you
get
can
rid of
get
those
rid of
special
the
red
unfair
cards,
stance with the
bro.
special red cards. Yeah. They're trying to get rid of them. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the decks that maybe takes the biggest hit from the deck because like most decks are gonna play it, probably. So you gotta deal with that now. Yo, check those Sarah Ledge lists right there. I'm curious about them. Honestly, I think Sarah Ledge probably like survives rotation just kind of fine. Um Oh, you get the new
Expect
stadium too. Oh wait, we don't get this for we're 2 sets away from this.
but we
But
have Cycling
that's
Road.
pretty good. Nope, it rotates.
No, but, like, currently, and that's, like, not a card that you wanna play.
Oh, sure, but like we lose like research. I don't know, you should probably just want more enablers, right?
Sure.
You want a little bit extra reach. Not having research is like a pretty big deal.
Having to play the blowtorch is
Also,
kinda
like,
funny.
dude, every time I see a list with Brilliant Blender but no Drillbur, I just get kind of mad. I'm not Not gonna lie. Like we have it like it's like Drover's like a theoretical second ace spec. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Get the burr in there.
Explorer's
These
Guidance as
non-burr
its like kind of
believers
other support
piss me
option.
off. Imagine having to play Explorers. That card is so bad. That's miserable. But you might have to do it. You might have to do it. Yeah. I don't know. That is miserable though.
Just take a look at some of these other Ledge lists. The Naveen is interesting. I don't know how. I don't know
Naveen.
about Naveen.
That card is also terrible. It's just having to play all these bad cards. I mean, you don't have a choice though, right? There's still a best way to play a deck.
Bro, a bad card is leading the
Got the
charge.
Prism
What do you
Tower in
mean?
there. What? You have no faith in the boy, Sarah Ledge? Come on, what? I mean, I would never go that far. I would never disrespect Sarah Ledge like that.
I'm not gonna be one to like fully disrespect Ledge, but like I recognize what I am.
Okay, sure.
So the
That's fair.
self-aware Ledge player.
The enlightened Sarah Ledge player.
There's no questions
Sarah Ledge
going on here. Look
Zoroark?
at
Nah,
this.
this
Hold on.
hand trimmer. Wait, the fire breather hand trimmer combo?
That's kind of fire, dude.
That's terrible, Chip.
That's
Not gonna
kind of
lie.
sick.
This is
And
awful.
it's an Alakazam counter.
Oh.
It's a 2-for-1, dude.
The 2-for-1.
There's not even
Mill
a
yourself.
Carmine in this list.
I know. I mean, you don't have time. You got to play your fire breather. There's 2
And
Tatsugiri though to find the fire
also,
breathers.
also no Solrock Lunatone, right? Because it's like all fire breather fire energies, right? So and then Zoroark's your draw engine.
Dude, honestly, if this was the best way to play Sarah Ledge, I wouldn't be mad, to be honest. But there's no way it is. Solrock Lunatone's just too good.
Yeah.
That's pretty chill.
Azumarill? Hold up.
What?
Dude,
Oh, I was wondering which one it was. Just had to have the one prize for the prize trade.
yeah.
I actually don't hate that. That doesn't like a 1/1 even.
This is a cool card. This is a Evolution Series MVP right here.
Which one? Oh, the Azumarill? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Also gets this. Yeah, look at this. Dude, there's no basic Terra Psychic Pokemon. That would be a pretty sick combo to line up, right? You go this special Psychic Energy, go get your basic Terra Psychic guy. Sadly,
Instead there's just
Dedenne
4
EX
Ogre Pawn.
rotates.
Yeah. Yeah, instead we just have 4 Ogre Pawns in here. The Grass Ogre Pawn is just so broken. You got to play it in everything.
Dude, looking at City League deck lists is so much fun.
Well, I can't tell if you were being sarcastic there or not.
I went too far back. I was like, Squawkabilly.
They're cheating.
Anything else you want to look at some of these Rocket stacks?
I mean, I don't know. The Rocket Stacks are always so boring to look at because it's like there's like 2 cards different from what there was before.
This one's got the Wobbuffet,
4 lilies. That's also something like that's so sad about the Rocket Stack that there's 4 lilies in the deck. Like,
Yeah, well, Lily's is just a broken supporter.
yeah. Legacy.
There is the new
special red
fighting energy
card.
for the fighting guys, right?
Yeah. Dude, everyone's just teching for Alakazam. Alakazam's just not having a good time, man. It's just like brutal. Brutal for the Zam. This is a deck that I feel like could take pretty good value out of the special red cards, though, because like you just get aggressive with that first Lucario. If they don't respect it, like it does so much, you might just win the game. And then as soon as they deal with it, bam, special red card, game over.
Got to see what the modern Crustle's looking like.
Or missed. Wait. Sure, I guess that also works. I mean, this list probably has a little bit worse of an Alakazam matchup. Not that it seems like teching for Alakazam is necessary anymore. It feels like everything already just naturally beats Alakazam. The Sarah just have hand trimmers. The
We got Frostlass, Mega Starmie, Mega Frostlass.
Okay, this deck is outdated. This was like a week 1 Ascended Heroes deck. Or not even Ascended Heroes, week 1 Perfect Order deck.
This was played 10 days ago in Japan.
The dub. Everyone cut their shamans, I guess. I guess at the end of the day, it's just a Frostlass Monkey Dory deck, which you can't go too wrong with.
Yeah.
I do wonder
Uh,
where the format's at for, like, first versus second. We're choosing I mm, I would assume we're choosing first, but I don't know for sure.
if you choose second, that means your opponent's going to be able to attack for meaningful damage first more often, which means you'll be able to special red card first.
Yeah, but I don't know if they consider KOing my like, a fan Rotom or a Badoo meaningful damage when it sets up the special red card, right?
Yeah.
Might avoid.
But are they passing?
Maybe so, like, obviously, like, it would've been I don't want Boss's Orders to have not gotten reprinted for the sake of Boss's Orders to not like, because I hate Boss's Orders. I just want it because I just want to, like, do something different, but maybe there will be, like, some interesting back and forth because, like, Boss's Orders becomes such a higher value card to, like, avoid getting special red carded, but, like, if you have to boss, you can't play a draw supporter, so it's like you have to choose between, like, setting up more or, like, not playing into the special red card. Like, I don't know, there could be, like, there could be a cool dynamic there that develops in the format between special red card and boss, just in terms of the importance of boss, but, like, also boss becomes, like, such a higher value card to play in terms of, like well, I mean, like, it's your supportive turn. You can't play Lily and boss in the same turn, so maybe it slows the game down because, like, you just can't afford to KO that one prizer.
Why does this deck play this guy?
One.
Or Chaladon, this
Well, for the baby art challenge on Felipe, you gotta get him in there.
coded
No.
attack.
Oh, Mawile, it's like an end game for Mawile, right? If you just don't it's
Oh,
kinda like a p
sure.
that Archaladon's it's pretty easy for Archaladon to have, like, a Duraludon available. The Felipe might be kinda cheese. I'm kinda with you there, to be honest. But
Yeah,
honestly, the
not really
stadium is
seeing
probably a
much
bit
from
pretty
the,
big deal for Archaladon.
not really seeing much from the Felipe here. Yeah, the stadium's a big deal. We're not seeing any of the special metal, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what would you play it in? Look at like, if you pull up Matang, what about Matang decks? That's, like, the deck I think you'd see it in.
Oh, yeah, and that other Metagross too, right?
Yeah, because it like because like in those decks, it's like an air balloon and an energy in the same card. So you would play it over air balloons, I guess, right? But
Mhm.
um in like stuff like
Oh,
Archaladon, don't need to replay it.
I did see
Oh
this,
yeah.
the whole thing with this card and Slowking.
Slowking plus the Metagross.
Dude, there's no way that the optimal
Dude, let's
Slowpoke
go.
is gonna be some random gym promo that we don't have. Okay, it looks like that guy was just playing it.
And it's like that's one of my nah, it's definitely optimal. Look at that artwork, bro. That's one of my favorite artworks. Actually, no, it doesn't the other one have like the tail, whatever, dangle? Yeah, that one dangles tail. The other dangle tail is probably better, but
Why do you like
it's
Dangle
got the
Tail,
three
Azul?
it's a useful attack.
True, true, true.
I do like the other artwork is pretty sick. I'm a huge fan. I need to get some of those for sure.
It's just him.
Look at him.
But there's this whole thing, this discussion that was happening with well, I guess we don't know how this card will be. Wait, is it in perfect order? It is, right?
Yeah.
No, no, it's
It
not. It's a Ninja Spinner. So we don't know how it'll be. We haven't seen the
oh,
English
true.
scans of the card yet. So
Yeah.
it may be worded more clearly. But basically, I think the way that it was done on like Pokemon proxies maybe is what it is. Has got people
Yeah.
confused.
The wording doesn't make a ton of sense.
Right. You
But
may discard 3 mental energy from this Pokemon and have this attack do 150 more damage. That actually is well, no, that's like I think the same
yeah, I don't know.
confusing wording. But basically, if you discard this with Slowking, even if Slowking has no metal energy attached to it, you can just do 300 damage.
And for anyone who's gonna like leave a comment, nope, that is how it works. And then I would go further than that because I see like people like it's sometimes funny. I feel like sometimes I see people discuss. No, there's like a no. It kind of doesn't really matter. I see people like discussing these kind of things. Like there's something to be there's like an interpretation to be had, and like it could change. And the answer is whatever the game developers want is what is correct, and they want you to be able to do 300 damage with the Slow King when it copies Metagross. It's the same thing with like Water Pawn, like um or the Wellspring Mask Ogre Pawn. Like you can have Crystal plus 2 energy, shuffle the 2 energy back and that's it. That's how the card works. And the reason the card works that way is because that's how the developers of the game want the card to work. Doesn't matter how it doesn't even matter how it's worded. The wording is actually irrelevant on the card. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is how is it supposed to interact with the other cards in the format? How do the game developers want it to interact with the other cards in the format? So yeah, what you want, what I want, Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's what the developers want at the end of the day. So Metagross can do 300 damage with the Slowking.
Here we go. Do the wave. Oh wait, it's not do the wave. What is it?
Oh, there we go. The
The
Metang.
energy slap. Here's the Metang.
But there's
No special
no.
metal.
Oh, we're just like hard retreating. We're just recycling and then hard retreating. I guess that honestly is that always just better than playing the special metal energy, just playing more energy recovery. Well, look at the engine in here. The what?
They're drawing cards with Kangaskhan. And then Petrol Rockets Factory. This is
Dude,
literally what the draw engine was in the Tyrantrum pre-release deck I got.
they just in it. Did they just adjust the Tyrantrum? They got the Tyrantrum pre-release deck, and you're like, no, that's pretty sick. Let me put it in my deck. Dude, how do we find anything with this deck? I feel like we just do not see enough cards with this deck. Am I trolling?
Well, they got 4th place at a City League.
I don't think I could get fourth place at this League Cup. I'm not gonna lie. In this
Is that a
format,
new Uncommon Energy video?
when
Taking
this
random
becomes legal,
Japanese decks and trying to win local tournaments with them.
honestly, yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be. That's actually that'd be some good content. We just like find some of the weirdest winning City League decks, take them to a challenge or a cup or a local or whatever, and just see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I would not be. I'm not getting top four at League Cup with this. You could simulate it like 100 times. I don't think I'm ever getting top four with this.
Any other
They kind of
cards
like
you
the
want
Chinchino
to?
though.
Any other cards you want to look at here for City Leagues?
No, nothing off the top of my head. If we didn't see anything else in the as we're just scrolling through.
Yeah.
They go into the Beedrill and the Greninja. We saw some of those. And then yeah, special red card definitely being played. It's kind of sad to still see unfair stamp still be like, yep, still kind of the best ace spec, it seems like though. That's kind of lame. Especially with special red card being a card.
Yeah.
But plenty of format to develop. And as always, like the first major tournament kind of sets the tone for people to kind of build on. So we'll see a lot of what happens with Osaka here, of course. And that's it's kind of weird though, because like Japan doesn't have follow-up majors in formats. So it's like more so for us to work with than for them to work with. They don't actually have any build-up off of that. It's just like the major happens and then it doesn't build up. And because we're so far removed, it's not like our major is the 2 weeks after that. It's like, okay, Japan had the first major. This is what happened. Now our major's 2 weeks later. What can we do with this information? Our majors are 2 months later. So I mean, you can look back on it and reflect on it a little bit, but there's so many other ideas and thought processes that have already gonna be having happened um, in Japan and also outside of Japan, even though we don't even have the cards yet. So it is always like it's almost like wasted potential, I guess, a little bit. It's like we just can't work with that information. Like it's like no one gets to work with the information. I guess people who go to
Mm-hmm.
city leagues after the Champions League, but that's about it. Um, but even that, like it's so little, there's so little to gain in terms of information by, copying the winning Champions League deck and then taking to a city league because like anything can win a city league. So like, yeah, it's a kind of like wasted potential. I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like we can't see like the same evolution. Like we just like talked about, from Houston to Sevilla, what we expect, differences and stuff like that. You can't apply that to Champions League results really. It's just kind of like, ooh, look at this
Yeah.
cool thing that's happening, and in 2 months we'll be able to do something with it.
All right. Well, let's make some predictions, Azul, for the Champions League this weekend. And we'll start with how many of the top 32 decks will have special red card?
Probably going to be quite a few.
I've got a
I mean, I
number.
I want to say at least half. I'm leaning towards just over 16. I'm just guessing the number of decks, right? Not the number of special red cards.
Yeah. Number of decks to include the card.
I'm gonna go 18.
I'm going bigger, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say like 24, 25.
I mean, I don't think that's a terrible prediction.
Like I don't think every deck's gonna play it, but
Maybe
it
I'm
feels like
undercooked.
most will.
Give me 21. Give me 21.
21. I'm gonna go with 25.
Okay. I might be undercutting it still quite a bit, to be honest.
Next up, card we didn't see much from in the city leagues, but will the game's best have something cooked up? Will Mega Greninja make top cut?
I'm gonna go yes. I'm gonna go
Okay.
yes on this. I think the card just has a lot of potential, and maybe it won't shine in this format, but I think it's got a bright future at the very least.
There is a lot going on for the card for sure. It does a lot of damage for one attachment with the nail upper, which is good.
Ability's good.
Um, ability is obviously very good. I am gonna say no for now, but I agree
Good
that there is
behavior.
potential, and I would not be surprised, and I would be okay with being wrong for sure. And
Definitely one of those
last
predictions where
one,
I feel like you want to be wrong, but
sure, sure.
gotta go with your gut.
I'm being a realist a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And last one, how many B drill will there be in cut?
I think there'll be some for sure.
Agreed. And we're
Seems
going
like the
top
big new
32
card.
cut because that's what they do.
Yeah. I'm gonna say there's so many. Looking at city leagues, there's so many decks. It's hard to go off of city leagues too much. I'm gonna say 3. I don't know if that. I don't know. In my head, I'm like that feels a little conservative, but I don't know if that is. I think 3 might be a good call.
I think that like 2.5 is probably a good line. Like over under.
Sure, yeah.
I could see 3.5 being the line as well, though. I think I am gonna go with. I'll go one over you actually here. I think I'm gonna go with
Ooh,
4.
he's a believer.
We're going with the top 32 cut here.
Yep.
So
One
yeah, I'll
top
go. I
32.
am definitely a believer for sure. Belieber.
No.
Were you ever a belieber, Azul?
Someone should Photoshop Justin Bieber on Beach Trail.
Okay.
But it's gotta be
I
the
was like,
old
I was about to
school.
stop you. I was like, I don't know where this is going, and I'm gonna just try to slow it
Oh.
down here.
It's gotta be the old school Justin Bieber.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think that is gonna do it. I think that's everything to cover, right, for this week.
I believe so.
Why don't you go ahead and close this out, Chip?
Yeah, thanks a bunch, everyone, as always, for listening. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave us a like, a review, a rating, comment, subscribe. And if you want to get a little more from us, check out the bonus episode, which we will be getting into here as soon as we're done recording. And if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in mine and Azul's lives, the best place to do it is over on X. You can follow myself at Chip Ritchie. Azul is at Azul Gigi, no underscore. Got rid of
Underscore.
that. And then you can follow the podcast at uncommon_energy.
Yep, catch y'all next Wednesday, 7 a.m. Eastern. See you then.